to the YouTube.
We're back. This is our final episode 3, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
Praise God.
Review. Our in-depth review that we've been doing from episode 1 to 2. This is the third and final installment. What did we think about this movie? Given from the last 2 movies that we just saw, was this the best out of them? I guess that's a good, easy question.
Yeah.
All around, I think unanimously we really believe that as far as scope, even as far as story, here or there's a lot of spotty moments, but the visual effects were better, most definitely.
Yeah.
From the conceptual design to General Grievous to all the different architectures between the battle between what the Sith was really doing in the backfold and Order 66, and just everything as far as the visual effects were just so much better in terms of scope and in terms of story, because this is the thing that ties in to what we eventually really wanted, was Darth Vader. The problem with it, I guess we would all say, is that they may have rushed that whole process throughout most of these prequels just to get to this specific moment, and it was unneeded in a lot of regard. But what were the things we liked about this episode?
I'm going to say I feel like this one redeemed some of the bad pacing of the second movie.
Yeah.
Gosh. Specifically with Vader, or with Anakin and his transition to Lord Vader.
Yeah.
It seemed to be a very good transition. You saw him wrestling with it. You saw the position he was in. That really he was being pulled and pushed from every different side.
Yeah.
And you have Chancellor pulling on him, saying that these guys are bad, the Jedi are bad. The Jedi are pulling on him, saying that he's bad. Then he's not necessarily trusting anybody, because he's questioning his entire existence because of Padme, and just trying to risk everything for her. So you really have her being pulled everywhere, and I was like, wow, okay. I guess this is the first time watching it in a good while, and I was like, okay, I get the stress and the confusion that he was really in.
Yeah, that's a great analogy, because since I've done a little life and gone through college and get to the point that I am now, there's so many different things that can happen that pull you in all these different directions, and all of them seem like good, ambitious things to do, but you don't know that one thing that might turn you to a way that you shouldn't go. And that can happen to anybody. And I was sitting there watching this, and just like Kenny was saying, this man has so much on his plate. And not just they didn't trust him, but he didn't trust himself, which is the key thing. The other thing that I really liked is that they to me, this is the first time with the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin that was the realest one that I've heard. It wasn't just Obi-Wan belittling him. He was actually praising him in different moments. He was telling him, look, even though the Jedi Council is telling you this, I love you. I want you to be the best that you can be. I feel like you're better than me. Even the confusion part was the thing that I really liked about this. It's just, I wish that they would have, at the point that he made that shift, it was it was all or nothing. There was no gray area after that point. And I didn't necessarily like that, even though there's a obsession almost with power that he starts. It's almost as if I had to go on a spiritual level, it was he's being possessed on certain levels of power. That's what he's counting on. It's almost like it's consumed him. Even when you see his eyes transition, that's one of the things that it solidified it for me.
Yeah.
And, it's sad. It's really sad to see somebody that really wants to be able to save. He was what was the beginning of the episode? They were in the fighter pilot, and Obi-Wan was telling him not to worry about somebody because he wanted to save them.
Yeah.
They're just a random person, and he had this willingness to save people. And to me, if I had to go on a spiritual level, what the enemy wants to do is still kill and destroy. And the people that have the most amount of heart, that's who he tries to pervert the most, because their potential to be able to help is so much better. And I'm not going to go on a philosophical spiritual debate on this, but I really saw that, and it meant something to me looking at it further on in my lifetime. So I really like that about this. What's something you like, Joe?
I'm not even gonna comment. I'm not even gonna follow up.
Wait, you didn't like it?
No. Yeah, what you said was just...
I was on point.
Dang.
I was on point.
Dang. Wow.
Yeah. Because after Sam just started going on, I just started thinking like Romans 1, going through the suppressing of the truth and exchanging it for a lie.
Wow.
That, and it's like, you see it actually at the very beginning when he sits there, he's about to execute Count Dooku, and Sith Lord just says like, kill him, and it's so cold, man. He just sits there like, kill him, and then you kind of see it come out like, no, do it now.
Yeah.
But he sits there, is like, no, we shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
He sat there, but then he ended up suppressing it and killing him, and then someone ended up like ratifying it.
Yeah.
Saying like, no, that was okay. And like the reality is like when we suppress truth and we take a lie, or even so if we do something that we know we shouldn't do, we will always find somebody to sit there and say, no, that was good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you'll always find somebody who will sit there and praise your evil.
It's a self-justification from a flesh standpoint.
Yeah.
Man, we're going in a whole different route.
Yeah, we were trying to make this short, man. We just got deep.
I'm so sorry. The thing that I gotta say it is that even in spite of the things I disliked about the second episode, there was never a point in episode 2 that Anakin didn't acknowledge that what he was doing was wrong.
Yes.
Even in this episode, up until
like the very end.
Towards the very end, and Sidious was telling him, I have the power to keep her alive, and if they kill me, like regardless if I was wrong or not, like you will never be able to really truly save her. And you see this moment where it was like Padme looking into the sunset, and Anakin looking to the sunset, and Anakin, he's about to make the transition one way or another, and you see the teardrop, and that was the moment that I realized that, because after that point it was like there was no gray area.
Oh no. Dude, I actually disagree with that.
Okay,
I think he was still convinced it was wrong, up until Padme comes back on, and they're having that argument, because he goes through, he almost he kills
the Separatists.
Well, no, he kills the Separatists and starts crying, but even after he saves Lord Sidious, he's still sitting there like, oh my gosh, what did I just do?
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't have done this. But then he's like, just kind of like, no, if you will give me the power to save Padme, I'm in.
Yeah.
And then he goes off, kills the Jedi, you see him crying, then he goes off and kills the Separatists, and there's that scene where he's just staring off into the fire and into the sun and just crying.
Yeah.
Like it's still sinking in, like,
but
he shouldn't be doing it.
It's just so crazy to believe that he has to accept that to live with himself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, before when I looked at it when I was a kid, I was like, what is he doing? This doesn't make any sense. But it was like, at that point, there is no way back. Like, there's nobody that he could sit there and say, forgive me for this. You know what I mean? Like, because he's killed everybody. The only person that he had was Obi-Wan, and even with that, it was like he's a walking, breathing reminder of everyone he's killed or hurt to justify what he's doing, to try to save her. And it's interesting. It makes the movie have more depth. It's just, I wish that the progression of those decisions, but I mean, looking at it now on a mature level, like I can see where they went with this one. It redeemed a lot of the things I really disliked about the second episode.
Jar Jar wasn't in it.
Not that much.
But he was behind the scenes, pulling all the strings.
Yeah, he was the one that was...
He was clearly the Sith Lord. You saw him right there, just... I'm sorry, that was my last one on that.
I was actually...
I had to put it in there.
I was thinking that if he hadn't have showed up, that he was General Grievous. I was sitting and listening to this, but I was like, this dude got a Jamaican voice, kind of, like, I was like, is this Jar Jar? But it wasn't.
Jar Jar into a droid with
wasn't.
6 arms and 4 lightsabers.
It wasn't.
Yes.
So, I mean...
The fight scene was awesome, by the way.
What, yes, all the fight scenes were good.
Well, yeah, all of them. All of them were even the one with Dooku was actually pretty legit.
Yeah, they really upped it. It's great.
So, I mean, the last one, they said that was one of the longest shot fight sequences they had ever done at that point, ever. And I mean, the guys, they put in the work behind it. I saw the training that they did with it. It was amazing to actually watch. Even though I see certain spots with the green screen, I see where they were really going with it. I really enjoyed it. What did we dislike about this one?
The 12 endings at the end.
To tie into episode 4.
Yeah, and that's really like they just had to tie up all these loose ends. So it was like, okay, now we're gonna do this. So it had that feeling of Lord of the Rings, where it's like, all right, now it's over. Oh, there's more. Okay, now it's no, there's more. And so it kind of had that feeling where I felt like it was almost like the last 10, 15 minutes of the movie is just some of these wrap-ups.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, yes, I guess most of them needed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think they really just wanted to have the scene of Obi-Wan giving Luke to his aunt and uncle, just so they could have the exact same shot of Luke or of them like holding him while looking at the sunset.
Yeah.
He loves ending on the same part where he started.
Yeah. I guess he had to do that for people to be able to be like transition really easily going from this episode to episode 4, because there's a huge gap in between it, so he had to, I guess, make that correlation. For me, it was the no. It's like I felt like there were so many moments in this movie. It was unnecessary cheesiness. It's like, Anakin,
That's fair.
you're breaking my heart. Like, I mean, it wasn't to detract from her acting performance, because she's an amazing actress. It was just like the lines that she would kind of put, or the lines that anybody would go in this movie, it just kind of came out of nowhere. And I mean, for Darth Vader, I can understand like him being upset, but him to say just no versus, I don't know, I could see him literally like destroying everything, not just crumbling up stuff. So I was looking for a bigger punch at that point. But it came across well, because they showed a sequence with him like starting the Death Star, which was epic in and of itself.
Yeah.
The other thing that I didn't like, what was it? Dang. Well, maybe nothing big if I forgot it. I'll let Joe go and then I'll talk about it in a second. What didn't you like about episode 3?
Not much.
No, you got like dislike something?
Not really. No, I mean, there's nothing that like really just like bugged me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, not really.
He was bothered by nothing bothering him in the episode.
I mean, it's not a perfect movie, but
Yeah.
No.
you know, I mean, it's a huge step up.
I remembered
from
it. I remembered it.
the previous one, so I was perfectly content. Huge step up.
That's true.
So the fight with Yoda and Sidious, it was an amazing fight, right? It was really amazing, but the way that it ended, I'm like, Yoda, this is it. There are no more Jedi. For all you know, Obi-Wan might die, and yeah, you can go and exile yourself. I understand that, and that sets up for him to be to the place so that Luke can be trained to do what he has to do, you know, make the balance complete. But to me, if this was all or nothing, like, I would have to be mortally wounded to stop this fight. Like, even after he fell, I was thinking to myself, like, there's nobody he really can't take out except for Sidious. Why would he not continue to fight? And I don't know. I felt like Obi-Wan, like, he continues to progress through with the whole Anakin situation. That was great. But even with him, when he left Anakin there, after cutting off his limbs, could he not have raised him up with the Force and pulled him forward? Because, I mean, it wasn't anything that Anakin could actually do at that point after having his limbs crushed, you know? So I was thinking that Obi-Wan could have easily moved him forward before he caught on fire. And even after he caught on fire, I felt like he could have maneuvered him out of there. So, I don't know. Those two things really bugged me. But that was even when I was a kid. I was like, if that was me, I would have continued the fight if I was Yoda. If I was me and I was Obi-Wan's position, I wouldn't just left him there in the fire to burn in front of me. I couldn't have consciously let myself do that.
Like, letting your bro burn to death in front of you is kind of intense.
Yeah.
Like, then it's like, part of me is just like, okay, if you're gonna kill him, you know. unless, Obi-Wan was pretty wrecked at that point, so maybe if it was just the idea of, like, he honestly just didn't know what to do. Like, he can't kill him, but he needs to die, so he also knows he can't, like, save him.
So he put a Batman for Batman Begins.
Yeah, so it's like, I won't have to kill you, but I won't have to. So, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, that could be a possibility.
Yeah.
With Yoda, you're right, I didn't think about that. I think the only thing with Yoda I was thinking was, I understand, like, okay, you've kind of missed your one shot. Like, this was the one shot to get him. Now you're just going to have an almost impossible time getting back to him without fighting through an army again.
Exactly.
So that's why I feel like they might have, if they had a scene in there just, like, showing a whole bunch of the stormtroopers that came searching for them. You know, they came in searching for Yoda. They had that scene. They just showed him, like, coming in, like, coming into the room or something, and it's like, okay.
It would have justified it for me a lot better than just, you know.
I fell, peace.
Oh, I'm hurt. You know, I mean, even if he, like, seriously hurt his back or something, like, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and quit on this. This was a good review. What do we give as far as a number? 7? 8? Oh, wow.
I gave it an 8, because I do think I gave the first one a 7.
Uh-huh.
Or 6.5, maybe.
6.5.
6.5 or 7. It was one of the two.
Gave 2 or 5.
Yeah, 5. So I'll give this one a 7. Or no, 8. I'll give it an 8.
I'll give it an 8 too.
8 out of 10?
Yeah.
I give it a 7.5. I mean, every time, there's never a point that I can't watch this movie. And every time I watch it, I find myself liking it a lot more, especially us talking about it. I picked out a lot of different things that I didn't even see that I really loved about it.
We really were planning on making this short.
Yeah, so we're gone because we need to sleep. And love y'all. Y'all have a blessed night. JVS, we out.
Peace.
Until A New Hope, potentially.
Love you guys.
Later.